Hello everyone, my name is Maddie, and for this assignment I chose the book called The Name Jar by Yang Suk Choi. I chose this book because I've heard really good recommendations about it, so I thought I'd do a little project on it and read it for myself. And because of our situations now and COVID, and also the library burning down in Manhattan a couple years ago, I was not able to get access to this book, so I'm just going to read it on YouTube and show you guys the pictures.
Today I'm going to read The Name Jar. It was written by
I'll go ahead and mute the sound. So here are some of the pictures. Okay, starting it off. Through the school bus window, Yoon-hae looked out the strange buildings and houses on the way to her new school. It was her first day, and she was both nervous and excited. Boys and girls, are you sometimes nervous and excited when you have to try something new, or when it's your first day at a new school or at a new place? Yeah, me too. I get really nervous too. She fingered the little block of wood in her pocket and remembered leaving her grandmother at the airport in Korea. Her grandmother had wiped away Yoon-hae's tears and handed her an ink pad and a small red satin pouch. "Your name is inside," she said. "My name?" Yoon-hae wondered. Again, she took out the red pouch to look at the wooden block with her name carved in it. As she ran her fingers, here's the pictures. So Yoon-hae is there at the airport talking to her grandmother. We'll flip the page here. Along the grooves and ridges of the Korean characters, she pictured her grandmother's smile. "Is that the thing for show and tell?" a boy asked Yoon-hae, surprising her. Yoon-hae looked up as more kids leaned over. "No, it's mine," Yoon-hae answered, quickly putting the pouch back in her pocket. "Are you new here? What's your name?" a girl asked. "Yoon-hae," said Yoon-hae. "Oohae? Une?" a girl asked, scrunching up her face. Ooh, nay, some kids chanted. No, Unhei corrected. It's spelled U-N-H-E-I. It's pronounced Yoon-hai. "Oh, you-hey," a boy said. "Like you-hey. What about hey you?" Boys and girls, is that very nice that those kids on the bus are saying her name wrong? Would you like it if someone said your name wrong? That was not very nice of them. We'll have to keep reading. Just then, the bus pulls up to the school and the doors opened. Yoon-hae hurried to get off. "Yoo-hae, bye-bye," the kids yelled as she left. Eun-hae felt herself blush. Eun-hae stood in the doorway of her new and noisy classroom. She was relieved that the kids on the bus had gone to other rooms, but her face still felt red. "Aren't you going in?" asked a curly-haired boy with lots of dots on his face. "You're the new girl, right?" he asked cheerfully. Eun-hae nodded, and before she could walk away, the boy took her hand and pulled her through the door. "Here's the new girl," he announced so loudly that the teacher, Miss Cocotos, almost dropped his glasses. Mr. Cocotos thanked him and greeted Eun-hae. "Please welcome our newest student," he said to the class. And there's her picture of her class and Yoon-hae. Boys and girls, would you sometimes be nervous if you had to go to a brand new class and meet brand new friends that you had never met before? Yeah, I would be too. So, she and her family had just arrived from Korea last week. Yoonhae smiled broadly and tried not to show her nervousness. "What's your name?" someone shouted. Yoonhae pictured the kids on the bus. I haven't picked out a name. I haven't picked out one yet," she told the class, "but I'll let you know by next week." As Mr. Kokotos showed her to her desk, she felt many round eyes on her. Why doesn't she have a name?" she heard someone whisper. "Maybe she robbed a bank in Korea and needs a new identity," a boy replied. And this is the picture. And let's flip the page. On the bus home, no one teased her, but Eunhae kept thinking about her name. "How is school, Eunhae?" her mother asked when she walked in. "Did you understand the teacher?" Eunhae simply nodded. She unpacked her school bag and set the red pouch by a photograph of her grandma. "I'm glad you are learning English well," her mother said. "You must study hard, behave nicely, and get good grades to show that you are a good Korean." "I will," replied Eunhae. But I think I would like my own American name," she said quickly. Her mother looked at her with a surprise. "Why? Eunhae is a beautiful name. Your grandma and I went to a name master for it." This is Eunhae and her mom talking in the kitchen. "But it is so hard to pronounce," Eunhae complained. "I don't want to be different from all of the American kids." "You are different, Eunhae," her mother said. "That's a good thing." Eunhae just wrinkled her nose. Later that day, Eunhae and her mother went grocery shopping in their new neighborhood. They passed Fadil's Falafel, Tony's Pizza, and Dot's Deli. A big graffiti-painted garbage truck roared like a lion as it took off down the street. Nothing sounded or looked familiar until they got to Kim's Market. The sign was in both English and Korean. "Boys and girls, have you ever seen a Korean name on a building?" "Me neither. Why do you think the name was Korean on the outside?" Her mother picked up cabbage to make kimchi, Korean-styled spicy pickled cabbage, and other vegetables and meat. She also had found some seaweed, Eunhae's favorite for soup. It made Eunhae smile. "Just because we moved to America," her mother said, "doesn't mean we stop eating Korean food." All right, here's some pictures. Boys and girls, does that kind of give you a hint when she said, "Just because we moved to America doesn't mean we stop eating Korean food"? Does that make sense? Remember how I asked you earlier why the Korean name would be on the outside of the building? Maybe it's because it was a Korean market. Would you look at that? At the checkout counter, a friendly man smiled at Eunhae. "Helping your mother with the shopping?" he asked. Eunhae nodded. "I'm Mr. Kim," he said. "And what's your name?" "Eunhae," she answered. "Ah, what a beautiful name," he said. "Doesn't it mean grace?" There's Mr. Kim and Eunhae at the grocery counter. Eunhei nodded again. My mother and grandmother went to a name master for it, she told him. A graceful name for a graceful girl, Mr. Kim said as he put their groceries into bags. Welcome to the neighborhood, Eunhei. That evening, Eunhei stood in front of the bathroom mirror. Hi, my name is Amanda, she said cheerfully, and then wrinkled her nose. Hi, my name is Laura. Maybe not. Her smile turned down. Nothing sounded right. Nothing felt right. I don't think American kids will like me, she worried as she began to brush her teeth. Hey, my name's Idscusi, she said in the mirror with a mouth full of toothpaste. Hi, my name is Susie, is what she meant to say. Boys and girls, have you ever thought that you would need a different name? Would you ever want a different name? The next morning, when Eunhei arrived at school, she found a glass jar on her desk with some pieces of paper in it. Eunhei took one out and read it aloud. Daisy, that's my baby sister's nickname, but she said you could use it if you want, said Cindy, who sat next to her. Eunhei took out the rest of the paper. Tamala, she read. I got it from a storybook, said Nate. She was smart and brave. Eunhei nodded and unfolded another piece. Wednesday? Yeah, because you came here on a Wednesday, said Ralph. Thank you for your help. A smile spread over Eunhei's face. Ralph quickly said, we'll put more names in it. You can pick whatever you'd like, or pick them all, and you could have the longest name in history. Boys and girls, could you imagine having another name? Why do you think Eunhei wants another name? Do you think that Eunhei just wants to feel accepted? Yeah, me too. At 3 o'clock, the bell rang for the end of the school day. Eunhei looked out the window and saw it was sprinkling. It's the same rain, she thought, but in a different place. She watched other kids leaving in groups. Hey, a familiar face called out to her. I'm Joey, he said. And you? Don't you have any name? Eunhei thought for a moment. Well, I can show you, she said, and took out a small red pouch. Do you remember what was in the red pouch, boys and girls? Look, this is the red pouch that Eunhei pulled out.